Ho ho buddies, welcome to Borderline Games. I'm Gareth and today we're playing No Case Should Remain Unsolved. Last time we were looking at a detective kind of reviewing a past case of theirs. It feels like maybe it's like, I don't know, 10 years ago. And they're trying to solve the case that they were unable to solve. And it seems like the memories are kind of fragmented and some witness statements are attributed to the wrong person. We have the timeline all kind of misorganized and not really making any sense. And last episode, we kind of were going through and trying to attribute the right witness statements to the right witnesses. And now we're going to jump back in. I think we had, if I remember correctly, we had reason to believe... I don't know what this means. I realised I was a jellyfish. I spent the past 70 years drifting through life with no heading in particular, blindly stinging everyone I encountered. Can you see it too? The people I tried to embrace I only ended up hurting. Have we seen this before? We might have. Everywhere I went, I left nothing but ruin. So that's it. That's what I am, a jellyfish floating across the sea. I don't even remember why I once became a police detective. Look over there at that family, weeping up for their lost child. Have I ever done anything to wipe away their tears? A police station is a crucible of pain and grief. So why did I choose to enter that institution? Why did I think I could somehow offer people solace and hope? Maybe I was simply being selfish. Maybe I became a detective just so I could belong somewhere. I should stop now. I should stop wandering with nothing but regret on my lips. That's it then, the first good thing I'll ever have done for anyone. Everyone, I'm sorry for everything. Alright. Last time, we have the key reason the English teacher needed funds. So, unfortunately, I don't have a great memory. And the last time I looked at this game was a week ago, I think. And you know, a week goes past and then you forget everything. So, we have reasons to suspect Seowon's mother, apparently. I've found the fragments containing the clues. Search for the answers now. Sure. Search reasons for Seowon's mother to be the culprit. See? Now you remember, someone turned himself in. But you're still suspicious of Seowon's mother. Are you misremembering something? No, that's not it. My memories are hazy and out of order, but those were the exact conversations. Seowon's father clearly said, keep her completely out of her mother's reach. That is true. I remember that now. That's why he wanted to keep the case unsolved. And there was more testimony. Alright then, let's start by looking for reasons to suspect Seowon's mother. Your doubts about her will unveil more of your clouded memories. Because it's undoubtedly and also absolutely true that Seowon's mother is the reason the girl went missing. Okay, so... keep her away. Okay. So... yes. I saw that boy a few days ago. Why do you ask, detective? Does the boy have something to do with the case? I wish I could control F this thing. Because that makes her the saddest person instead of her mum. Please leave this unsolved. Here we are. So that's one. What happens if I click something that's wrong? That's wrong. That's good to know. Okay. I assume my daughter took her along. When my daughter came downstairs and looked at me with her eyes wide, and I thought, oh no. I think you might be making a mountain of a molehill. The daughter worries easily, but mark my words, the girl always wanders back in time for dinner. She must have retired the poor thing. Or out about all yesterday. She slept in this morning too. Isn't that suspicious though? Okay, we've got one of them. The first day of school is only a month away and there's so much to buy. I hope she wakes up soon so we can eat and get her uniform fitted. Nope. You might have to wait a while before she wakes up. Her being asleep, I guess, isn't that much of a red flag. Weeping willows, trees by the water, they're lonely to look at. He looks like he's at the mercy of the world sometimes, but the truth is, he's the most unyielding boy you'll meet. I think Myongo's managed quite well in his own right. I don't know if you noticed, but there's something he always carries around, never leaves home without it. That man was never one for prayer. Wow, okay. There's a lot of stuff for me to consider. Trying to change things without even trying to pray. He's been complaining since last night. If he really did take her, maybe it was because he couldn't afford child support payments. No. I suppose he's still trying to change things himself without even trying to pray. So, 3 days ago, she was with me, I took her away. I feel like this is somebody else. I don't know who this is. Maybe this is the dad. Okay. She didn't stroll away somewhere, she's been kidnapped. Get off your chairs and do something, we're running out of time here. Mobilize the force, get those cruisers on the streets, anything, TikTok detective. Okay. Must have been, say, 3 or 4 years now. No. The mother was picking out supplies for younger kids, so I showed her to the shelves all the children might like. She laughed and said, he gets that a lot. You seem to know Seowan's family well. This is clearly not the mother. His mother was picking out supplies for younger kids, so I showed her to the shelves. And I don't mean his looks. It's normal for kids his age to only think of themselves, but he's always hanging back and letting his sister spend all his pocket money. I mean, that's not a thing in itself. I suppose he's still trying to change things without even trying to pray. Never one for prayer. You know what I've been having for breakfast lately? I've been having frozen fruit, yogurt, and I've been having protein Weetabix, and I can't recommend it more. If you're someone that doesn't have a lot of fruit and veg, like I was, then freezing, like say, I don't know, I freeze blueberries and I freeze mango. And I know that there's a thing about how if you freeze it, it kind of loses its fibrousness or something like. I don't know what I'm supposed to be clicking here. But apparently if it's like flash fried, if that's the right term, then it doesn't lose as much and you're still having fruit and it's still delicious. And if you're having like protein yogurt and protein Weetabix as well, then it leaves you feeling kind of sated and full of energy. So that's my recommendation of the day. Do that, please. My phone calls history. I don't usually get calls in the afternoon. First thing that came to mind was that I had to pick up somewhere quiet so I could hear. So I ducked into the condo hallway. The call history is 5 minutes long, but she disappeared in less than that. I know because I looked up partway through the conversation and she was already gone. Employees complain if we check in too often. Is this a teacher? Is this what we're saying? Certificate of familial relations. Employees complain if we check too often, so we don't usually do that, and there's not much to call out. I did call, but it wasn't for anything special. If you could make it like we have more than 100 caregivers working with us, but no one wanted to show. I think that was the gist. Oh yeah, I think this is the company that hired the woman that was the caretaker for the father, I think? Right, so if I were to guess, let's have a look. Teacher. Shin Hyojong, Durihana employee. Sewon's mother. Should we maybe put a pin in this and come back, see if there's anything else we can... So if I do this... Okay, we've got one still, so that's fine. We've got one. Let's see if we can click on things. Okay, we can't click on that. What? There are things that are wiggling around, I'm pretty sure. Where's our wigglers? Where are the wigglers? Oh, was I supposed to click on one of those? Ah, hang on. Where are they? Can I use this? Yes. Has Sewon ever wandered off alone before? Yes. Is that really possible? So who is this? This is not the stationary person. Detective, I think it might be my fault she's gone. I was in the hospital for a long time after I had Sewon. Right, this is the mother. I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden. But since we both spent so much time looking up at the hospital ceiling, I thought I might be able to understand her better. Now, though, I'm not so sure. Do you think she resents me? Is that why she won't call me Mom? Is that why she's always so hard to find? I have to scour all the playgrounds to find her. Alright, so this is the mum. Where is the mum? This. I was in the hospital for a long time after I had Sewon. Is there a special meaning to Sewon's name? Sewon was born at 23 weeks. She weighed less than 700 grams. Her mother had just come out of the C-section, so this is not the mother, and was about to be transferred to the ICU with the baby, but the nurse called for me. It was only a few seconds, but she let me see Sewon. Sewon reminded me of Thumbelina, a fragile, precious little princess nestled in a bright red flower. She was so light I could barely feel her in my arms. I was scared she might float away if I so much as breathed in her direction. The nurse told me to have a look, but I didn't know how. I could barely see through my tears. I couldn't even get a proper look at my precious little baby girl. And then the first thing I did after the confusing meeting, I registered her birth. I sprinted straight from the hospital to the city hall, registration desk. I didn't stop to catch my breath. Then I wrote down her name, Sewon. That's Seo for rhinoceros and one for origin. It's an unusual name, I know. I mean, yes, very unusual. At the time I was thinking of the old saying about marching forward, like the lone horn of the rhino. I thought of that strength. I put all of my weight into each stroke of the pen, every last one, hoping that the fragile piece of paper might help her somehow. Then it might help root her to life, like a powerful anchor that kept her moored to us. Right, so this is the father. Name. So these are still locked. But we do have time somewhere, so let's find where it says time. Elementary school we could do? Right. I was sure it was close to finishing elementary school. He's tall for his age, and he's very quiet, that one. His mother, so this is not the mother. So... ex-English teacher. Is it possible this is the English teacher? Let's say that. I don't know if it is. Okay. Everything he says is a lie. Don't believe a word of what he says. I'll be at the station immediately. Everything he says is a lie, Wiggling. It was me, I made him do it, it's all my fault. I'll be right there, detective. Don't you listen to anything he tells you, it's all my responsibility. Right. Who does this make you think it is? You don't know who that is? I feel like this might be his mother. I don't know. Let's click on lie. Whoa, a bunch of lies. Oh. Don't believe a word of what you're saying. Saewon's father has surrendered himself to us. Okay. It's not your fault, Myungo. Nobody in your family is responsible for this. Don't lie. Didn't you say that Auntie was telling the truth? What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? Interesting, okay. Elementary school, let's do that. Thank you for telling me, Myungo. Thanks for telling me, Myungo. I heard you're in 5th grade at elementary school, so this is clearly Myungo. With your height, I bet the girls won't leave you alone. You're very tall for your age. Is it because you take after your mum? I take after her. Really? Am I like her? Right, so this is Myungo. Very tall. Okay. Do you really think Mr. is the culprit? Mr. Kim Gang-seok? What? Is that the mom's name? I have to open the lock to connect this conversation. Reason to suspect Saewon's mother. I have to open the lock. Oh, hang on. So is this different? Hang on, what's going on here? There's this. I feel like we're going to have to delve into that. So there's that. There's also, up here, the key reason the English teacher needed funds. And we also have this one. Is Saewon alright? Confirmation that Saewon is alright. First I need to find the reason to suspect the mother. Okay, and what's this one? Okay. So do I need to do... Okay, so before we do anything, we need to find out the reason why the mother... why we should be suspecting her. So I kind of made it a little harder for myself, really. Okay. Alright, let's dive into it. So it might actually give us... It might blank out the ones that I've unlocked since. That would be cool if it does that. I feel like all of this stuff... Oh! What? Didn't I just unlock this one? I think I might have gone to where she's gone. I couldn't care for her because I was bedridden? No. But since she spent so much time looking up at the ceiling, I thought I might be able to... You think she resents me? No. Is that why she won't call me Mom? None of this, right? Wrote her down. See you on. Right. We got 2 of them. That's double what we had before, so that's good. I suppose he's still trying to change things himself without even praying. Weird. She was with me, I took her away. Because I needed money. She's dead. She's been dead all this time. Saw that a boy a few days ago. He went from the playground straight to the store. I remember wondering why Seowon was sticking so close to that boy. She's still so young. Children who are forced to grow up fast end up with better control of their emotions, and that breaks my heart. Right, okay, so hang on. This isn't the father. This is the mother. Where is it? What were we just looking at then? This one here. She never says that when her father is around, of course, but I think I understand what she means now. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world. That's probably how she sees it, or she's still so young. Because then that makes her the saddest person instead of her mum. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. I had no idea that she was keeping such a close eye on Seowon. There's something Seowon always says to me, Mum is the saddest person in the world. She never says that when her father's around, of course, but I feel like that means it can't be the father. But I think I understand what she means now. Seowon genuinely thinks that way. She couldn't handle it otherwise. That's why she refuses to cry, because then it makes her the saddest person instead of her mum. She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. That's probably how she sees it all. She's still so young. Children who are forced to grow up fast end up with better control of their emotions. Okay. I guess we're going to have to go back to the mum. Okay. Let's carry on. The search for suspecting the mum. This here seems suspect, isn't it? She couldn't handle it if she were the saddest person in the world, getting pity from everyone. Okay. He gets that a lot. Myungo is mature beyond his years, and I don't mean his looks. Employees complain if we check in too often, so we don't usually... Wait a second. So we asked if she could make it... It's nothing to do with this, right? So we'll just click everything. Okay. Right, I always feel like I want to keep a closer eye on her and make sure she's okay. How could someone take her away in broad daylight in the middle of a condo complex? I don't know if this will help, but you asked me to tell you anything. Seowon is always optimistic and cheerful. At first, I just took her as a friendly child, then I realised that her brother came to pick her up instead of her mother. There we go! Boom. Tell me, do you really think Mr. Kim Gan-seok is the culprit? Do I click it? No? Okay. I don't know what happens now. I can't click that. Well, now we can look at the other things, I think. We can look at... Is Seowon alright? Confirmation. None of the fragments unlocked so far contain the clues I need. That's fine. Interesting. Ah, here we go. So, we've got another person. Choi Gueja. I'm not sure how you say that. Apologies. Alright. It'd be so cool if I could find stuff. But you can't find stuff. What does this do? No. Scroll it, no. Okay. No, I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. And we're back. I thought that save and exit was save your settings. Candy! Sayone loves getting candy there. Of course she does, she loves candy. Who wouldn't? Could you tell me now what happened when you last saw Sayone? So is this the stationery store? We always used to buy Sayone candy from the stationery store on the way home. We didn't buy her candy recently because Auntie doesn't come out with us anymore. I told Sayone to stay where she was and went to the stationery store. I ran right over. The stationery store is just up the steps over the fence. It's really quick, I swear. I was only there for a bit and I ran back. This, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the father is in a wheelchair. I was only there for a bit and I ran back, but she wasn't there. I called her name like, Sayone! Well, she didn't come. Only Auntie did. I started crying and Auntie said I shouldn't tell anyone she wasn't with us. Oh, this is the brother? Auntie said I shouldn't tell anyone she wasn't with us. She told me not to say anything at all. Just like that monkey we saw at the temple. What does that mean? Right, okay, this is the brother. Not to say. Okay, what if I told you that there's no need to lie? So we need to get... I have to open the lock to connect the conversations, that's fine. So we've got to find lie somewhere. Stationery store. Okay. Not to say... Silence. Silence! Lie. Don't really get how the hashtags work, to be honest with you. Oh, here we go. The reason why... Yes. Needed funds. Right, this here is the mother, I think. Picking out supplies. She laughed and said he gets that a lot. Sure was close to finishing elementary school. This is going to be the stationery teacher, right? The stationery owner, stationery shop owner. We didn't buy her candy recently because Auntie, yeah. The reason why he needed money. Don't believe a word of what he says. I'll be at the stationery store immediately. Everything he says is a lie. That's where it says lie. The key reason the English teacher needed funds. I've definitely seen something about money over here, I think. It's nothing to do with that. We did all this time. No, it's this here. So the father needed money? Okay, so it's nothing to do with that one. She didn't stroll away somewhere, she's been kidnapped. Sayone was born at 23 weeks. Yeah, it's nothing to do with that either. First day of school is only a month away. Let's leave that for now. We'll come back to that. But here having a good time. There's one that was wiggling, I noticed, that I want to click on. I'm going to click it. Turned himself in. After open the lock. So surrender and hurt. This does no... This just says what it's connected to. This is all flashing up here. What if I told you there's no need for lying now? Oh, we've done the fragments for this. Let's try this. Okay. Okay, not this. Okay, not that. This, in fact, actually, let's attribute this to the mother, because I think that's right. Okay. Okay. Let's try this again. Says so that shows his mixed feelings for Hyojong. Nothing to do with that. There we go. So then, does this not give us something? Do we have to do lie and silence to then activate it? Is that how that works? Man, I really should know how this game works by now. Don't lie to me, Mijong. Didn't you say the auntie was telling the truth? None of the fragments unlocked so far. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Oh. There we go. What if I told you that there's no need for lying now? What if your lie is the bad kind? The kind that's only going to hurt Auntie and CO1? Right, so then once you've unlocked it, then you've got to click on a hashtag that takes you to that question. I think that's right. Why is not saying anything a lie? If I tell you, if I say what really happened, then Auntie sounds like the bad guy, but she's a good person. It's my fault, not Auntie's. It's all my fault. Interesting. So, let's have a look at that one down here. Tall. Tall name playground. So playground. Tall. Have you got tall anywhere? Do I get a tall? Tall, tall, tall. Oh, someone's tall for their age, right? Isn't it the boy? Very tall. There we go. Do you really think that Mr. Kim Gangseok is the culprit? I don't know. Mr. Kim Gangseok. So this is the... Who is this? Do you really suspect him, detective? Even if he were in financial trouble, this is the English teacher. I don't think he would stoop that low. Instead, he'd... Detective, I'm not trying to defend Gangseok. I'm only telling you what I saw. There was a woman skulking around that playground, always hanging back. I thought she was suspicious because I kept running into her when I went around looking for Seowon. She was in her 30s or early 40s, a little on the tall side, maybe around 10 centimeters taller than me. She was always looking at the playground from afar, always behind the wall behind the flower bed. You wouldn't see her unless you were really looking. But she could probably keep an eye on the kids at the playground if she really craned her neck. I saw her there, standing on her toes, trying to look over the wall. By the way, detective, What was the name of that girl Gansiok confessed to taking? Oh, do you really think he is the culprit? This was my conversation with Sewon's mother, right? Probably. I don't understand. She acts as if she knows the man who turned himself in, and asks about her kidnapped daughter as if she's a stranger. It's frightening. Was she having a dissociative episode? Ma'am, do you remember the things that made you stand on your toes? What does that have to do with anything? In my case, I only really stood on my toes for one reason. Huh? Affection. To keep my eyes on something or someone that I really cared about. Ma'am, you were on the force for nearly 30 years. This is the only case you left unsolved. Remember how you closed that file and placed it on the cabinet? Were you standing on your toes? Interesting. Oh, we got drums now. Drums are kicking in. I'm trying to defend Gansiok. That's Gansiok. Okay. Even if he were in financial trouble, I don't think he would stoop that low. There was a woman skulking around that playground, always hanging back. There's a lot here. Everything's connected to playground. Stay on the line, I'm on my way. What's going on here? Woo. Stay on the line, I'm on my way. Could you tell me what happened? I got a call from my mother. Sewon's grandmother. She said, right, okay. So this is the father. She said, I'm at the store outside the condo complex and security called saying the fire alarm was going off in the house. The security guard went over to the mother's house to check, but he couldn't open the door, so she asked me to go and open it for her. I chewed her out. She knew I couldn't bring Sewon somewhere so dangerous, I told her to go myself. But she was so stubborn. Mom said she could get to the playground and pick up Sewon faster than she could get home. So I should rush over to her house and make sure everything was fine at her place. She would be there soon. She said that made the most sense. She was going to wait for me, with Sewon outside the building. I went to Mom's house and the security guard was there. I opened the door for him and the place was filled with smoke. I don't know what she was cooking on the stove, but the pot was burnt black. The guard turned off the stove and opened the windows. All I could think of was Sewon, how glad I was that I didn't bring her to such a dangerous place and that the fire didn't get any worse. I ran back into the elevator. It was only a few minutes, I swear. I found Mum waiting for me outside the building just like she promised. But when I asked her where Sewon was, she said, I thought you took her with you. Detective, are you here yet? Right, hang on. Interesting. It's Sewon's grandmother. She said, I'm at the complex outside the condo. I'm at the store outside the condo complex. Security alarm. Saying the fire alarm was going off. Right, so this is the father. Right? Yes. I think. A bunch of things to unlock there, so we should go back through those. It's got to be very early on in the conversation, surely. So the first one we've got here. Was there anything unusual about Sewon's activities today? Okay, let's go back through this. So, a call from my mother. City Hall, you said? That's right, Chief. How are you? I'm from Hwam Yeong City Hall administrative office. It's that time of year. 4 kids slated to start school this year in your district didn't show up to pre-entrance day. I'm just calling for your cooperation. We spoke with all their families over the phone. They all said they were on vacations overseas or busy with other things, that sort of thing. I mean, elementary school classes haven't been even started yet, so I'm going to report that everything looks fine. We do have to make sure that the paperwork is all there. We're working on the police assistant request forms right now. They'll say that local police stations dispatch personnel to all the absentees. Absentees' households for welfare checkups at their schools. The school board's request. Imagine that, Chief. It's like a free bonus, and our compensation for external personal requisition is pretty solid if you ask me. Once you get the forms, send us your personal roster with the direct deposit information attached, and we'll take care of things on this end. That's him. Elementary school. Okay. Right, let's attribute this to him. Elementary school, police stations. Dunk. Have you contacted Sewin's father? I keep calling him, but he won't pick up, so this is also the school. It's not out of the ordinary, we only meet for her birthdays. Oh, hang on. I keep calling him, but he won't pick up. But this is an emergency. His own daughter is missing. Detective, I was texting him on that day you came from the police station. Sewin's always such a quiet girl, but she was chattering about how much happier she'd be if her father was there too. So I asked him if he'd come by and say hello. But he's heartless, that man. Interesting. Very interesting, Mr. Bond. Birthdays. Certificate of Familial Relations. Choi Dong-jeon. Date of birth September 15th, 1972. Male. Who is that? Who is that? Spouse Seo Won-young. Oh, okay. That's who you are. That's the father. Cool. Spouse Son Mo-young. Date of birth December 25th. Christmas Day. Seo Won-young. She's died. Who is that? That's got to be the... Is the mother? His mother died. Married March 5th, 2000. Death September the 1st, 2009. Child Choi Myung-go. Oh, hang on. So this is a second wife. Did I know that already? Maybe I knew that already. September the 1st, 2009. Child. Yep. No. This is the mother, right? Death. Certificate issued February the 4th, 2012. The City Hall. Interesting. So hang on. Phone calls history. Never leave the children alone when we're out together. This is not... These are all in the wrong place. So, first of all, death. Okay. So there's death. Right. Never leave the children alone when we're out together. But then I got a phone call. I don't usually get phone calls in the afternoon. Call history is 5 minutes, but she disappeared in less than that. I know because I looked up partway through the conversation and she was already gone. I don't know who this is. I feel like it's not the mother. I would make a terrible detective. Death. Caregiver. The best caregiver award ceremony in a few days. Right, so certificate of familial relations. Okay, so we can't unlock that. I have to open the lock to connect this conversation. To unopen this lock, birthday as well, right? So I guess I've got to unlock. I've got to find more hashtags that say birthday. Lying. Can't unlock that. Let's just see if we can find a wiggler. I can see down here. This is lighting up for some reason. Okay. I've found the fragments containing this clue. Seowon's mother's birthday. Okay. So would it be 74 something? Is that what it was? It was here. Yes. Birthday. 2574. What is the correct date? Or 25th of the 12th. Oops. And it's whether it's going to be the American way or our way. There we go. Our way. So I can't actually look at that yet, but let's see if we can find caregiver again. I think caregiver was over here, was it? Saw caregiver somewhere. Caregiver. Okay, so take me back down here. This one. What does it say? What does it say? How old was Sewon when Miss Shin Hyojong first came to take care of her? I first met Hyojong when Sewon was 4. So she was looking after the daughter, not after the father. Can't remember where I got that from. That was a few years ago. When my wife died of illness, I was despondent. Didn't know how I'd raise the kids. Hyojong was there to support us. So she's died. They're called caregivers instead of nannies these days, aren't they? Hyojong is my children's caregiver. She's been coming in to look after the kids ever since my wife was hospitalised. She befriended them instantly. I don't know how we could have coped without her. Sewon even calls her mum and treats her like one too. I can never thank her enough. But now I'm starting to think I relied on Hyojong too much. I mean, she's not exactly family, is she? Okay. So Sewon died. Why wouldn't she call me mum? But when were we... So if Sewon's died, and then we're investigating... I have to open a lot to connect this conversation. Okay. Hang on. Right, okay, so I can't do this. Died. And lied. Proof the shopkeeper is lying. I've already found the fragments containing the clues. Yes. Right, so... What is it? What are we saying he's lying about, though? Candy. Candy. What is he lying about? Oh. Okay, hang on. What did I just click on then? I told Seowyn to stay where she was and went to the stationery store. I ran right over. Right, okay. I can't do that one. So, this here. Candy. Lie. If I click on this, will it tell me where to go? Is that how it works? I should know this by now, surely. Okay, it does tell me where to go. Jesus Christ. This one. I'm such an idiot. We received testimony that directly contradicts your claim. Ah, you're back, which means you're still searching, I take it. I tried to think of anyone suspicious I might have seen in the area, but nothing. But the truth is, well, yes, Myongo was here. I'm sorry for lying to you, I didn't think it was important. Well, you see, I didn't want you to think badly of Myongo. He's a good boy at heart. I'm very sorry, I truly am. I should have told you up front. What time did he come to the store again? A little after 3:30, I believe. Well, nothing was out of the ordinary. He looked like he was in a rush, and when I asked, he only said he had to go back quick. He went straight to the usual candy shelf and picked out a bag, so I assumed it was for Seowyn. It's a favourite brand, you know, the pink candy that's so big your cheeks puff up like a squirrel. I told you before, Myongo is very mature for his years. But that day I saw him squatting in front of the greeting card shelf for a long time, with the candy still in hand. Eventually he came up to the counter and paid for the candy, but he wouldn't look me in the eye. I thought it was strange, so I went over to check the shelf. And well, one of the cards was gone. I was disappointed in the boy, of course, made up my mind to give him a stern talking to, but at the same time, well, I felt sorry for him. I can only imagine what went through his mind when he was squatting there in front of the shelf. So here, we know that he stole. One of the cards was gone. So now I need to find over here. Oops. Here we go. Please don't lie to me, Myongo. Didn't you say that Auntie was telling the truth? Auntie told me that lying's not about what's good, but what's necessary. She said lying wasn't always a bad thing, it's the bad lies that are really bad. Mom said she'd watch over me from heaven. She said she'd watch over us even after she died. But that was a lie, right? There's no such thing as heaven. But Seowyn doesn't know that. She's so stupid. Mum was lying. But does that mean that Mum was a bad person? Okay. Right, for this one, I have to open the lock to connect this conversation. Right, there's a bunch of conversations down here. So if I go down here, was your son still there? I was under the impression that both children were at the playground. So is this the father? Myongo said he was with Seowyn the whole time, but they had no idea where she'd gone. So I scolded him, "You're not making any sense." I was so desperate that was too harsh with him. Even though it's my fault Seowyn disappeared, I've failed them both. Please don't ask Myongo for any information. He won't tell you anything. Alright, we're going to find out next time exactly what Miongo won't tell us. Next one, Borderline Games. Thank you so much for watching this episode of... no crime's going to be solved. What's it called? No something remained unsolved. What's it called? You guys know. You guys know. I don't need to say. It's called No Case Should Remain Unsolved. Thanks for watching this episode of No Case Should Remain Unsolved. I will see you next time. Have a good evening. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.